There's another universe. Please make some noise. Give me a
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our English podcast, where you can improve your English through simple and natural conversations. We're really happy you're here today. If you want to practice listening and learn how to speak English more confidently, you're in the right place.
Yes, welcome everyone. Today we're going to talk about a topic that is extremely useful in real life. We're going to learn how to talk about your job in English. This is something that comes up in many situations. For example, when you meet new people, when you travel, when you start a new job, or even when you attend networking events.
Exactly. One of the most common questions people ask in English conversations is, "So, what do you do?" It's a very simple question, but many English learners feel nervous when they hear it.
That's true. Sometimes learners know the vocabulary, but they don't know how to explain their job in a natural way. They might say something very short, like, "I work in an office," and then the conversation stops.
In today's episode, we're going to help you speak more comfortably about your job. We'll show you useful phrases, examples, and small conversations so you can talk about your work more naturally.
And remember, you don't need complicated English to do this. Simple sentences can sound very natural and clear.
Let's begin with the most basic question. What do you do? This question is simply asking about your job or profession.
There are a few simple ways to answer this question. One very common way is to say, "I'm a," and then your job title. For example, you might say, "I'm a teacher," "I'm a designer," or "I'm an engineer."
Another very natural way to answer is by saying, "I work as a," for example, "I work as a graphic designer," or "I work as a nurse."
People also often say, "I work in," when they want to talk about their field instead of their exact job title. For example, "I work in marketing," or "I work in finance."
Let's imagine a simple conversation between two people who just met,
One person might say, "So, what do you do?"
and the other person could reply, "I work as a software developer."
Then the first person might say, "Oh, that sounds interesting. What kind of software do you develop?"
See how the conversation continues naturally?
Now let's talk about another important part of describing your job. Sometimes people want to explain what they actually do during the day.
Yes, because job titles can be confusing. For example, if someone says, "I'm a project manager," not everyone understands exactly what that means.
So it's helpful to describe your daily tasks. For example, someone might say, "I manage projects and coordinate teams to make sure everything runs smoothly."
Or someone might say, "I work with customers and help them solve problems."
These descriptions make your job easier to understand.
Let's imagine another example. Someone asks you about your job, and you say, "I work in marketing."
Then they might ask, "What exactly do you do in marketing?"
You could answer, "I help companies promote their products online and reach more customers."
That sounds clear and natural.
Another common thing people talk about is where they work. For example, someone might say, "I work for a technology company."
Or, "I work at a hospital."
You might also hear people say, "I work for a small startup," or "I work for a large international company."
These small details help make the conversation more interesting.
Now let's talk about working hours and daily routines.
Sometimes people ask questions like, "What is your typical day like?"
This is a great opportunity to explain your work routine.
For example, you could say, "I usually start work at 9 in the morning. I check my emails, attend meetings, and work on different projects during the day."
Someone working in a restaurant might say, "I prepare food, talk to customers, and manage orders."
A teacher might say, "I teach classes, prepare lessons, and help students learn new topics."
Now let's talk about how people express their feelings about their jobs.
Sometimes people say, I really enjoy my job because I like working with people.
Or, my job is challenging, but it's very rewarding.
Someone might also say, I'm very busy at work, but I like what I do.
These kinds of sentences help make conversations more personal.
Let's imagine another short conversation.
Someone asks, "What do you do?"
The person replies, I'm a teacher. I teach high school students.
Then the first person might say, "That sounds interesting. Do you enjoy teaching?"
And the teacher might say, yes, I really enjoy helping students learn new things.
That's a very natural conversation about work. Now let's practice some useful phrases together. Listening and repeating is a great way to build confidence.
First, listen carefully.
I work as a teacher.
I work in marketing.
I work for a technology company.
My job involves working with customers.
I really enjoy my job.
Now, repeat after us. I work as a teacher.
I work in marketing.
I work for a technology company.
My job involves working with customers.
I really enjoy my job.
Excellent.
Talking about your job is one of the most common conversations you will have in English.
The key is to keep your explanations simple and clear.
Remember that you don't need perfect grammar or complicated vocabulary. What matters most is communicating your ideas.
And the more you practice describing your work, the easier these conversations will become.
Thank you so much for joining us in today's episode and practicing your English with us.
We hope this conversation helped you feel more confident talking about your job in English.
Keep practicing, keep listening, and keep improving your English every day.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Goodbye, everyone.
Take care and have a wonderful day.